Hello, my name is Bryce Taylor, and today you're going to learn about concussions in sports. At least 50 high school or younger football players in more than 20 states since 1997 have been killed or sustained serious injuries on the field. It is extremely important for us, parents, coaches, and trainers to be familiar with concussion symptoms and know how to act when an accident occurs. In order to help you better understand the dangers of concussions in sports, I will first explain what a concussion is, then the appropriate recovery methods, and finally the effects of concussions later in life. Before I discuss the dangers of sports concussions, let me first explain what a concussion is. A concussion is an injury where the brain is affected inside the skull. The brain becomes concussed when an athlete takes a direct hit to the head or whiplash. Concussions can occur from a body blow that causes the head to move back and forth rapidly. In sports, athletes often use reckless abandon to do whatever it takes to win. The dangerous consequences are somewhat ignored once you step between the lines. High-contact sports such as football are most commonly associated with concussions. Imagine your head as an egg, your skull is the shell, and your brain is the yolk for a few moments. Once the egg is shaken, the yolk moves inside the egg and hits the egg shell like the brain hits the skull shell. Obviously, the brain is not supposed to do that, and an athlete experiences symptoms to let the body know that something is wrong. Symptoms of a concussion include headaches, vomiting, and loss of consciousness in extreme cases. Although the symptoms are temporary, they are definitely not enjoyable. The key to classifying concussions is to note the number of symptoms along with the time the athlete experiences the symptoms. Symptoms include headache, dizziness, vomiting, confusion, incoordination, fogginess, and even loss of consciousness. The most important recovery method after experiencing a concussion is appropriate rest. An athlete needs physical and cognitive rest to recover from a concussion. The brain takes longer to heal if it is actively engaged. Concussions affect each person differently, so medical professionals need to treat each athlete differently. From personal experience, resting allows the brain time to heal, and within a few days, symptoms seem to subside. Cognitive rest is extremely important 48 hours post-injury. Monitoring of athletes that experience concussions is essential to ensure the brain is not fatally injured. Returning to sports before the brain has time to heal can be also fatal. The second impact is why at least 50 younger athletes since 1997 have been injured or killed. Returning to sports before the brain has time to heal. Experiencing multiple concussions can snowball throughout an athlete's career and cause serious effects. Research shows retired football players diagnosed with multiple concussions have permanent brain injury. Mike Webster, for example, died at the age of 50 and was never the same person later in his life. The wear and tear on Mike Webster's body made it obvious that football is extremely dangerous. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy is a common brain disease associated with concussions. It is clear that CTE is caused by repeated brain trauma and not genetic. The Center for the Study of Traumatic Encephalopathy identified that 17 of 18 deceased contact sport athletes studied showed evidence of CTE. Concussions in sports are a very important injury for doctors to monitor because of the effect on the athlete's brain, the time needed for recovery, and the life-threatening symptoms later down the road. Serious injuries are inevitably going to be a part of sports, but the study of concussions can pose serious threats to parents letting their children play sports.